Hey, how are you, Darra?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh my gosh, happy anniversary.
I
It's
know.
been almost a year since we met.
Yes.
And so much has happened. We were just catching up right before this live, just about how
Yeah.
crazy from literally 365 days things have changed for you, which I'm so proud of, and we'll dig in. And the world in general, I think we're feeling a big push right now of people. I call it the wedding renaissance, the event boom, because
Hmm.
people are like, I'm sick and tired of being indoors.
Yes.
Corporate, we'll talk a little bit about that. They really want to reward their employees that have gone through so much. And it's an exciting time. So I'm glad you're here.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, you guys, this is Darra Michelle from Darra Michelle Events, and we met just through. I think you watched my webinar at the time
Yeah, I did.
last year. It was a much different webinar than right now, post COVID, and we had an amazing phone call. I still remember it like it was yesterday. But tell everyone a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your company, and then we'll dig into kind of how the last year has progressed.
Perfect. So my name is Darra Michelle, and I am the owner and creative director of Darra Michelle Events and Consulting. So we are an event management firm in the Chicagoland area, but we do services um, different areas and also in other countries. And so we primarily focus on nonprofit events, women retreats, corporate and social events. And the goal is to really provide our clients with freedom. So we host their events, we cover their events from ideation to execution.
Yeah, exactly. And when we first started talking, obviously things were getting shut down left and right. We
Yeah.
were like panic mode. And let's talk a little bit about where your headspace was at the time, because you had this vision, you had this dream. I remember specifically talking about one of your challenges. You said, I know who my perfect client is, but I keep getting referrals from how do I handle that? So talk to us a
Right.
little bit about that.
Yeah, so I think as I mentioned to you, my business has just been sustaining through referrals. And so I was so committed to my client that whoever they referred, I felt like I had to be committed to them too. And that was just causing me a lot of stress. I was settling. I was taking on clients and contracts that I know I shouldn't have. But again, because I felt so connected to my client, I didn't want them in their mind to think I let them down because I didn't take on their referral.
Mm-hmm.
And so what 2020, it really just like kind of pushed me and motivated me to really just sit back and reflect and rethink about a lot of different things that I was doing in my businesses when it comes to clients, processes, referrals, and so forth.
Yeah. And I remember having the conversation because we're so heart centered in our industry, right? We really are of service. We want to help everyone. And, I've been guilty of it too. I've gotten a few referrals
Exactly.
and I feel this obligation, and I have the conversation in my head that you and I had, like, wait, why? Why do I have to mold my business around something I don't want? And it really becomes stifling, right?
Yep.
So that was one aspect of when we started working together. So one of the things that I help clients with, and hopefully it was helpful for you, is really to identify who are your perfect clients. What does that dream life, dream job look like for you? And do you think that that was helpful kind of in the beginning stages of our coaching together?
Yeah, so I think really like looking at it in that perspective, like what does it look like to me? And I know for me, it was really like time, like getting a lot of my time back and really because I was losing my passion for it, honestly, because I just had, those clientele that made me question like, do I want to be an event planner and designer? Is this what I really want to do? And I think, being able to work with a coach and talk to a coach and kind of go through some of this up and down emotions really helped me to identify like it's not me. It may be something that I'm putting out. It may be a characteristic in me because I am accepting, but that can be adjusted. So it's like, what do I want? Like I value my time. So really being connected and working with clients who value their time and mine as well. And then it's also knowing my worth. I think too, I was still a little insecure with doing event planning, even though I've been doing event planning since like as a child, not knowing that it was event planning. But again, it was that confidence, and I had lacked that. And again, because I lacked that, it made me settle. And so once we just started coaching, you just started like asking questions that was out of the box that I didn't even think about and didn't realize how they related together. It just put me in a whole new mindset and a whole new mind frame. And I just started thinking like, she's right. Like, no, I don't have to settle. No, I don't have to take them on. You can politely say no. You can politely refer them out and get back to really doing what it is that you love and enjoy.
Yeah, 100%. You almost made me cry because, that's what I want for everyone. Once you realize, once this light bulb comes off, that it's like, it is possible. I don't have to be stuck to something. It's my business. That's why I went into business. And I think oftentimes as business owners, we feel that we have to grind and be busy and hustle all the time. And we forget that little diamond. We put it in that back corner of the drawer, and it doesn't shine as bright anymore. And eventually just kind of forget about it, right?
Yes.
It was awesome to see that light shine through, as we were working together, and really the implementation and the stuff that we worked on, mindset. I love that you said that, but also what about as far as systems, processes? You were talking about, people not wasting your time, but it was taking up a lot more time than you wanted to. Share a little bit about that with us.
So I think when I really and this was like an aha moment. It was like the littlest thing possible was changing my lead form. Like that took my business to a whole nother level just by changing the lead form from intake. And so like I tell clients, like I tell others, like an event starts from the moment that you think of the idea and every step following. And so I have to run my business as an event because I want to give people an experience. And so when me and you started talking, and you was like, you should have like these fun and creative questions on your lead form, and like I get so many compliments on that. And it's like the smallest thing ever. But it's something that my clients always say. They was like, girl, you asked me how awesome I am. I was like, oh, wow, I never saw that question. What's my pain points? But then it also allows me to understand my clients. So if I ask them these different questions and they tell me different pain points or different struggles or areas that they just need clarity on, when I go to them in a consult and I talk to them through the proposal, I already know this client, struggles with overspending. This client has too many ideas. So I already know those key words to kind of talk through them, to talk with them. So I can be like, oh my gosh, she really paid attention. And so once I implemented that into my system and my workflow, that took me to a whole nother level. And then also another recommendation that you provided me with was to really think about if I wanted to offer packages or do I just want to customize everything. And that was something that I just was like yo-yoing back and forth with. And I just finally decided, like, you know what? I want everything to be customized. It's that experience again, right? I want people to know, like, they come to me for a wedding or a baby shower and they won't just get the same proposal. Like I want to customize it to your event, to your color scheme. And then that just shows like I really took time out and I really, again, listen. Because that's all the clients really want to know, like, are you listening to me or are you just looking at me like, okay, this is another client, on to the next. So I think those two adjustments, even though they may seem small, they were powerful in the movement with my business.
Yeah, I remember that light bulb coming off for you. And I remember how excited you were when we were creating the form. And, and it's not for everyone. I mean, obviously, I don't just like your events are all different. Our events are all different. All my clients and what they want is completely different. But I think, I remember while you were talking, it just reminded me of that we forget that when we talk about our value and worth, number one is because we're so good at what we do as event planners, as strategic thinkers, we do all these things. We're therapists, or all of these things, and it comes so easy that we forget how worth that is. I was talking with someone recently just about they were talking about a housekeeper and going back and forth and about, should I get one? Should I not? And sometimes it's like, it's not even the price of having the housekeeper. It's about the value of trusting someone in your home.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where once you
Mhm.
hone in on what is someone really looking for, like someone looks for someone that they can trust in their house that's going to keep coming back.
Yes.
Or the value isn't how clean something, well, I mean, it is, but it's not. But you know what I mean? They're still going to do a good job. And so really digging deep into what those values, like you said, listening to your
Mhm.
clients from the beginning with questions and understanding those problems and addressing them. Do you
Yes.
think that people get it? Like, is it easier for you now through the inquiry phase? I know we talked about like people who negotiate, they try to undervalue. Has that changed at all, or what do
I think
you?
now because I added those questions, and I think I also added like two more questions. For me, it just helps me streamline the process a little bit better. It eliminated it eliminated a lot of those back and forth emails. So
Right,
on the initial form, I kind of have an idea of like what they want to do, what they want to create, and from there we just have a conversation. And I try to be an educator as well because sometimes people just don't know. They may say
right,
my budget is 1,000, but they want this, this, and this. And they're like, you know what, girl, I just don't know. Like, I don't know how much it costs. You
right.
ask for the budget, I put it on there. I don't know. And I say, perfect. So let me educate you and explain to you the fees for it all. And then they can decide whether, they want to proceed, take things away, or maybe I'm just not the company for them. So
Right.
again, it kind of helped in a lot of different ways from not even just having that intake piece, but then also being able to just a lot of the back and forth that I was doing with
Mhm.
emailing clients, it just eliminated a lot of that.
Yeah, I was just talking to someone today who's struggling with that. They're getting ghosted. They're getting. It happens so much in our industry that for those people that advertise on the Knot, that are on Wedding Wire, and you don't get a good sense of what and they're emailing 20,
Mhm.
30 people at a time,
Yeah.
trying to figure out who is going to be my planner, who is going to be my florist, and really standing out, right? Because I think that's one of the keys, like really standing out and
Mhm.
speaking to and identifying who your perfect client is. And I know some of those activities at the beginning of the training is like really kind of makes you think of, yeah, the spark is back, right? This is why
Exactly.
I got I love it. I love your shares. I love that. I know working together again, it was April, May, June last year. I looked forward to our calls so much. There's so much gloom and doom. You're just such a bright, bright star. And
Thank
it was
you.
always so good and open to learning, right? I think that
Yeah.
for you, that really is the main thing because yeah, you could have said, nope, that's not going to work for me and closed the door on it. So I really value that, you were open to the learning.
Yeah, and even just open to the coaching. Because like I've told you before, I've had coaching before, I've had coaches, I've had mentors, I've been in a lot of these programs, and some of them just was valueless, like it was no substance. And so that tends to put a blockage when you come across somebody who is a great coach and mentor, and you are kind of hesitant to even work with them or book with them. But what I've learned is that somebody who know they shit. And
Mm,
when we had like our initial conversation, you like instantly knew it. Even when I had questions, you was giving like pointers, and I'm like, okay, I didn't like I say, I had met you on a webinar. I didn't do no research. I just went out on faith and say, you know what, I'm a book. I don't care the price, none of that, because I felt like you knew what you were doing and you was what I needed at that moment. And I didn't allow like me being burnt before to kind of stop, because had I not, I can't say whether I would be in this position or not. I just can't say that. So again, too, sometimes, as being event planners or whatever it is, sometimes we get burnt out and we don't trust, you
mm,
know. So when you work with somebody, just like when with clients, they may have worked with a planner before or a designer, and then they be like, but people, if you work with somebody and they begin talking and you begin to listen, then you could kind of, tell if it's bluff or if they really like own their stuff. So
sure. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really, I put heart and soul. I think that we're just such an undervalued industry. I hate it when I hear that people are like, when I say weddings, everything adds up. And it's like, yeah, but no. I mean, we are literally giving our soul to you for everything leading up to the event, losing sleep, you know, the night
Yes.
before. Like, and how do you articulate that to those people, right? So that's amazing. So we were talking about, share with everyone, because we were talking a little bit about what's happened, obviously, since the coaching. You're out in Chicago. Things opened up, I know, a lot more for you guys. You were doing these rooftop things, and tell us a little bit about that. And also, I'd love to talk about, because I remember one of the other things you talked to me about was you didn't know what to post on social media. And now I'm like such your biggest fan. You're constantly on the you're there. You are there. So talk to us about both those things.
Yeah, so I think like in the summertime, because like when COVID first hit, like in all transparency, it took me out. I lost every contract that I had, every single contract. And so I wasn't bitter. I was upset, but then I just, again, mindset is everything for me. And so I had to shift my mindset to say, you know what? That was the sickest that my mom and dad were. They both had cancer. And maybe it was a time for me to kind of detach and spend more time with them and focus, but then also get strategic and align with what I want to do in my business. And so that's what I use that time for, to really become a student again, to learn. I think I had shared with you that I was just insecure about design because I felt like I just couldn't be a designer. And that's why, like, when I had clients, I always tried to find the prettiest space because design intimidated me. But through COVID, I'm like, you know what? I want to tap into doing tablescapes. I am more than capable to do this. So I was grateful for that time away, because if COVID hadn't happened, I was traveling every month with my clients. And so I began to do that. Then I'm like, well, I can, you was telling me about you should do an ebook. So I'm like, well, let me explore different rooftops in Chicago, because summertime's coming, people love rooftops. So I created a ebook, or just like a brochure about just 10 hot rooftops to visit in Chicago. And so that was a hit. And then from there, it just was like, I really started to, so social media has always been interesting to me. Like I was telling you, I was like, do I post both on one? Do I create two? I'm like, what do I do? And then you just gave me the best tip. You was like, incorporate it. Event is a lifestyle. You are a lifestyle. Everything about people are events. And I'm like, wow, she's right. Like if I go to the grocery store, well, that's an event, even though you may not think of it. If I go work out, I can create a workout event experience. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna just show that on my social media. And I did. And I just started to just show me both ways when it comes to like posting my videos, to posting my pictures, to show me doing behind the scenes work. And again, once you like really provided me with that insight and the Canva board and just like really doing concept mapping, it became easy, like second nature,
Right.
And it's because that was like another struggle. And I think a lot of people still struggle, with social media. But just having someone who could just be like, you can do it all in one. You don't have to create another one. If you want another one, that's fine. Maybe you just post this on that one, but still with your main one, incorporate both. And I'm like, wow, she's right. Like I can do that. So
Yeah, I love what you said that. I'm going to put your Instagram handle. You guys need to follow Darra, because let's get her some followers, because she is not only fun and also just sharing some just amazing information. And I love what you said, like going to the grocery store. Yeah, that is an event, because you're planning a meal, and most events are meals. Like, I mean, 100%, right? Yeah, and I think I know we connected. Well, every couple months we connect, and you were just saying it's just flowing through me, like I'm just doing it, and it shows. And I'm so happy, and I'm so stoked for you. And let's talk about kind of. So I know you said you had quite a few events coming up for 2021, 2022. Some of them I think are probably repeat corporate clients that you had before,
yep.
The combination. So tell everyone kind of what's going on in your world, what's shifted, from pre-COVID, pre-coaching to post, and what your world looks like now moving forward.
Yeah, so right now, like I said, since I really took that time to like tap into design and really learning tablescape, that just kind of again, added another layer to my business and kind of took me to the next level with my event planning. Because like I said, I did a teddy bear baby shower event.
It was fun.
That it was fun, but then it's like from that event, like I really was able to show my skill set and show the world like what I can do. And from that event, I had like so many people to compliment it. I had people who are clients now reach out to me on Instagram saying, "Oh my God, I love this teddy bear event. I want to hire you to do mine." And so I have a few baby showers where I'm actually just recreating that same theme. I know last year my corporate clients, we kind of did some social galas and brunches, and so I have them this year. We're still sticking to virtual, but they still rolling with me. And then my travel client actually picked back up. So I'll be in Costa Rica on the 20th to May 1st doing
Nice.
some travel events. And then we will be in Mexico in July. So I'm excited. I have 2 weddings this year. I have 2 more in 2022 and then a few conferences. So I'm just grateful. Like, I'm just truly grateful. And I'm humble. And during this time, I also was just able to really get my team together because, if it wasn't for my team, I'll probably just be all over the place. And so being able to connect with like just different planners and different people who are skilled in virtual assistants or project management, again, that really helps me in my business to streamline structure and create strategies for everything that I'm doing and what I plan to do.
Yeah, and I'd like to share with everyone that what struck me when we were working together is your conversation with me about how events changed you when you were attending events and how you wanted to pay that forward and you want to create these life-changing events, which is really your passion. And
Mm-hmm.
What you were talking about with you do a lot of women retreats,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do you have any of those going on coming up?
So I started a series called Chit Chat and Chatter. And it's again a conversation series for women, and it just talks about like women dealing with ourselves and talks about like how sometimes the little girl inside of us is still present in our adult time. And it's like if we don't really heal her and have that one-on-one conversation with her, she can either be good or bad for us in the future. And so I started that series. We just ended last month, and so we're putting out the next series. I'm actually doing one in Austin in May. And then I also have my She Treat. So it's a women's retreat that I do, and I'm doing that in October. Again, it's a time and a weekend for women to just unwind. Like we all know we busy, we boss women, we mothers, we this, that, and third. But this weekend is just for us to be us. So it's to be around like-minded, ambitious, and driven women to have a great time, relax, relate, and release.
100%. I love that. Relax, relate, and release, right?
Yep.
And those sell out, right? Those are very popular. So if someone who's watching is interested, how can they find out more information? What's the best way?
So if they want to shoot me an email, if they want to follow me on social media, I'm always posting my link so that they can get on the wait list. If they want to DM me or inbox me, all of that. If they subscribe to my website, you could get on my email list.
Great. Yeah, perfect. I'll put your website on there as well. That's just amazing. I'm so excited for you. This is all I want is for people to thrive in what they love doing and see that passion exude from them instead of the second guessing. And I love your share where you were like, you went from wondering if I should be a designer to doing this full on teddy bear event that got you clients knocking on your door, past, future clients. And it's mindset, believing in yourself, knowing you can do it, and then kind of figuring out how, someone who helps you put those building blocks together so you can reach those great heights, right?
Yeah. And then just be willing to do the work. Like I use my mom's table in my living room as practice. So every holiday, every season, I'm creating a tablescape just so I can, better myself. So I just did an Easter one. I'm gonna do one for spring. Like again, I want to always be a student in my skills so that I can continue to be better at it.
100%. I think about sometimes that we're like rock stars, because you think about musicians or rock stars who have to go to these retreats. They have to retreat themselves so that they can write the music, right? They lock themselves up in a room. They don't, kind of like what COVID did for us, but they need the space to be artistic so that then they can release the album and then they go on the road and have their fun. So I think we forget that in our industry, we do need time to be reflective, really think about what we want, dream of our future, write the lyrics to the song that we want to perform down the line. So
yeah, I agree.
that's amazing, Darra. Anything else you wanted to share with everyone that's coming up, or?
So no, right now, like I said, I just have my conversation series. I have my retreats. Oh, and then we're starting a clubhouse series, Glitz and Glam. And it's really for like event planners and something like what you're doing, where we kind of discuss behind the prettiness. So when we have clients with a champagne budget, with a champagne taste, but a beer budget, when we have clients who don't really understand what they want, and then we try to provide them and try to, be the experts for them, and then they don't take our advice. So it's really like just having that conversation behind the scenes and being okay with like being transparent with each other, because I feel like it's spaces for that for event planners, but it's limited. Like a lot of the groups on Facebook, if you go in there and post certain things, they delete your comments. And I'm like, we need our own community as well, because who can we vent to and say, you know what, X, Y, and Z, and this, that, and the third. Like we need that. So that's something that I'm also working on as well.
Yeah,
I think that's the amazing. First and third Mondays of the month.
That's awesome. I know you asked me to be a guest, so I can't wait to talk about that.
Yes.
Everyone here to join in. And, I love the whole, again, everything about you and the giving back. I think that's just so important. And sometimes we forget that we are a community. It takes a village to put together a business. It takes a village to put together an event. And it really takes a community for us to all thrive and not just survive. So I love that. I love the series. Everything about it. So that's very, very awesome as well.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you being here. I miss you. I adore you. Of course.
Thank you.
We'll let everyone know when the clubhouse thing is. And then anyone who has any questions, you can definitely tag Darra. She's on the Facebook pages that I posted on here. You can tag her if you have questions. Her website down below, darramichelleevents.com. You can find out more about what she's doing, and definitely follow on Instagram because it's so much fun to watch at Darra Michelle Events. So thanks so much, Miss Darra. Much love to you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.